Привет. So today we're going to be talking about a comment I got on a video. I'm going to be a little biased about it, but this video is to be supposed to be factual. So let's begin. Is the AK platform better than the M4 platform, or vice versa? There are many reasons to say which one is better than the other. The thing is, they're both equally better than each other at the certain things. But their differences are what they make them equal. See, one has advantage over the other because of small thing. M4, less recoil. Kalashnikov, more control. Another thing is, this person referred to the M4, most likely the modern version, compared to an AK-74. Not AK-74, AK-47. Just so you know, the Russian military does not use the AK-47 anymore. They haven't been using it forever. Yes, a training rifle, maybe, but the AK-47 is indeed, yes, outdated. It is the most built assault rifle in the world. But the thing is, it uses a 7.62 caliber, and it was designed at a very, very young age. The AK-47 really saw its life in the 50s. It was a really good rifle. Many Vietnam veterans of the United States military will tell you that the AKs they found were better than the M16s. But the thing is, we're in the 21st century now, specifically 2020. And I'm going to be talking about modern AKs compared to the M4. Like I told you, the AK-47 is outdated. The Russian military does not use it anymore. It has been replaced. It was replaced under the new configuration AKM. Now, the AKM was a better variant of the AK-47. Their differences are very minor when it comes to physical differences, but it was mainly based on milling, all that. Very small differences that really changed it. Then the AKM was replaced by the AK-74. Now, no, they didn't just switch the numbers around, no. The AK-74 first was designed in 1974, 47 was designed in 47, under the great, glorious Mikhail Kalashnikov. Now, the first thing we should know about the AK-74 is it was a new caliber. Instead of using 7.62, which was a very famous caliber in Russia at the time, you had the SKS, the Mosin Nagant, AK-47. They all used 7.62. I actually might be wrong about the Mosin Nagant, but the SKS, the SVT-40, which I believe used the same caliber, and the AK-47 all used 7.62. However, with modernization, many countries switching to 5.56, Russia switched to a caliber known as 5.45. This would be the caliber of the AK-74. Differences could go farther, but less stopping power. It was more likely to go through you than stop you. It could, but if it missed any vital organs, your brain wouldn't really process it. You'd still be a fighting machine for a couple more seconds. But it was still good. Just like the AK-47, the handguard, the pistol grip, and the stock were still your wooden bakelite, wooden style. The magazine was bakelite. They introduced bakelite. So bakelite magazines, which are I really like them. They're a really weird looking magazine. They're woodish in a way. But the thing was, the AK-47 and the AK-74 were the same in a sense. The AK-74, if you actually look at it, is a bit longer. It still uses, and if you actually look at the wooden designs, they're different. The handguards are still both wooden, the pistol grips and the stocks are very much still wooden. However, we enter what I consider the Kalashnikov year, the century of the Kalashnikov, the 21st century. Introducing, for the first time, actually taking a gun and only replacing the physical parts of it. That didn't change the caliber. This is the introduction of the AK-74M. The AK-74M, which means AK-74 modernization, or modern, whatever you want to say, was also based on the whole modernization of the Russian army, like the T-14 Armatas, the T-15 Armatas, the Mi-28 Havocs, the Ka-52 Akilos. All those were part of the modernization. There's many other things like the Ratnik project, VKBO. It was all part of this new modernization project. And with the AK-74M, they replaced all the wood and replaced it with polymer. People loved it. The Russian army loved it. It was just as good as the standard 74, but better. But as time went on, and not even that far, like a couple years later, within a year actually, they made a configuration to the AK-74M to, instead of using 5.45, to go to the classic 7.62. This would be known as the AK-103. Now the AK-103, this was the introduction of the AK-100 series, which is my favorite series because of the AK-107, which is a really freaking cool gun. But the AK-74M was it's not replaced by the AK-103. The AK-103 is it's more of a blueprint gun. It exists, it's used, but 74 is more popular. Now, before I go on, around this time we saw an introduction of different type of Kalashnikovs, but weren't entirely Kalashnikovs. These include the AN-94, the AEK-971. I might be wrong on the number, but the AEK series and the AN series. Now the AN-94, everyone knows it is the most confusing gun ever. It's a very strange gun, it's very expensive, and there's a reason the Russians dropped it. People liked it, it just sucked. I mean, it could shoot 2 bullets at the same time. It's kind of cool, man, but still. Same barrel, too. But the AEK, I won't go over it. It's very much its own story. It was basically a recoilless AK-74 with slight designs. I think it used 7.62, actually. But this is when we enter the Special Forces variants of the AK series. Now, the first time the AK series was modified to fit the Spetsnaz was the AK-74U. There were designs before, but this was the most known. It was basically a very shortened, compact version of the 74. Still shot 5.45, but the barrel and the handguard were shortened, cut off to an extent. Make it easier to go around corners, all that. But the AK-100 series is really the introduction of SFB, Umma, Alpha Group, Vitsaz Group, and the third group, Zenith Group. Their type of Kalashnikovs. These are being the AK-104, 105, and 106. What many people call the thing was they shortened the barrels, but not to the U series. Now the U series is what I'll refer to as the AK-12U, which is the AK-74U version, the AK-12 version of the AK-74U. It wasn't as shortened as that. It still operated as an assault rifle, and no, if the barrel is shortened, that does not mean it's a submachine gun. Submachine gun, or SMG, is an assault style weapon. God, I felt like a Democrat saying that. It's basically a weapon designed a rifle designed to shoot pistol calibers like 9mm, 9 by 19, 45 caliber like the M1A1 Thompson. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for. Actually, that's correct. Yeah. But, and yes, there are submachine gun variants of the Kalashnikov. I will get to those after I finish the 100 series. So, now with the 100 series, we're going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about actually? There's not much to actually say about the 104s and 105s and the 106. The only difference is actually between the caliber is when you hear 104, 105, 106, note that they are the same gun, just different caliber. I forgot the actual order, and I always forget the middle one. All I know is there's the 545 one, and there's the 762 one. I always forget the third one. But yeah, now on to my favorite Russian gun, known as the AK-107. So the AK-107, 107, 108, and 109, which are just like the 104, 105, 106, is 762, 545, and I think 556 actually. But here's the thing. It was the same size as your standard AK-74M, but the gas barrel that goes right above your firing barrel was elongated. Basically, this let pressure push against each other, so when you're shooting, you had no recoil. So you could just do this. And actually, I will use my AKM airsoft gun right here. Hold up. So, standard AK would just do that. 74s would just that. The AK-107, on the other hand, and actually that would be correct with this because this is 762, is it would just. And the great thing was, it was a fast shooting gun, so just. Yeah, you'd still need to hold it, of course, but yeah. And I should have used this in earlier videos, but the video is quite dark. So, main thing with Kalashnikov, it's a very long-living gun. It will never die out. However, we need to talk about the rest of the Kalashnikovs. I don't know if I'll get into the AK-12 series yet, also known as the AK-12-400 series, the AK-200 series. Now, the AK-200 series is what's going to be replacing the Indians' assault rifle soon, under a deal with the Russian government. But here's the thing. Let's talk about the AK-12. We're gonna finish talking about the rifle caliber rifles. So the AK-12 and the AK-15. These are more simplistic than the AK-74, AK-107, 108, 109. So the AK-74's bigger brother, more Spetsnaz configured model. Basically, they took the 74, the basic version of the AK-12. They took the 74M, replaced the pistol grip with a more ergonomic pistol grip, so it just fits right in your hands. They replaced the stock with a more tactical stock. They basically welded on and bolted on a Picatinny rail on the top of the dust cover, and they replaced the handguard, the polymer handguard, with a polymer modular handguard, which had Picatinny on the bottom, sides, and top. And that was really it to the basic AK-12. Now, there's another version AK-12, which I could just consider the AK-12M, which has a whole different dust cover. The dust cover is way different, looks way nicer. Uses the same designs. The stock is changed. The handguard was slightly changed to a more ergonomic handguard, because handguard was kind of weird to hold with Picatinny right there if you didn't have any attachments to hold on to. But that was about it. I don't really go into the AK-12s because they're actually really simplistic AK. They're just a Kalashnikov for the future. Now we're going to go on to the AK SMGs. No, not the 74U or the AK-12U. They shoot the rifle calibers. We're talking about the AK-9 or the PP series. Now the PP series, which yes are Kalashnikovs, all started with, I'm gonna say what they started with, known to the world, PPSH. Now the PPSH, they're also known as a PPSH 28, I believe. Correct me in the comments. Don't yell at me, please. It was a very fast shooting SMG. Skip 80 years, and we have the PP-19. This thing is so freaking cool. It's a 9mm submachine gun. Basically looks like a small Kalashnikov all polymer, except the bottom part, instead of having this mag right here, instead of having your curved mag, yes, you had a cylinder that would go under the rifle, and it was a rotary cylinder inside. It was a cylinder on the outside too, but when you shot, it would just rotate, bullet would go up into the gun, and shoot out 9mm pistol caliber bullets. That was it. However, the PP-19, I have a feeling I actually was saying the wrong gun, because I was going to go into the other PP series. It sounds really weird saying the PP. Baby Kalashnikovs, Baby Kalashnikova. I actually completely forgot what this second series. I think I mixed them up. So, whoops. Otherwise, the PP series that came after the PP-19, or before, I don't remember. Otherwise, it was known as Vityaz. Now, Vityaz, I love the word Vityaz. The Vityaz series of the PP was basically taking the body. It wasn't like the PP-19, which was just it looks different from your Kalashnikov, but it still looked like a Kalashnikov. The PP-19 or whatever, after the Vityaz PP, had a different design. It took the body of a SBR version of a AK-74M, polymer, all that. But you replaced the magazine, the 5.45 magazine, with a 9mm 9x19 magazine. And voila! Short and barrel, everything. It kind of looks, the gun actually kind of looks like a AK-74MU, like if the AK-74M had an AK-74U series. Just shoots 9mm. Personally, I don't like how 9mm magazines look when they're put onto a rifle caliber. It's like making a standard assault rifle and configuring it, like turning an AK-47 into a bullpup. It doesn't look right. Like, imagine putting the MTAR. The MTAR is a bullpup assault rifle. Imagine changing that into a standard assault rifle. Just instead of doing that, it looks weird. Look it up. And yes, there is a bullpup assault rifle, a Kalashnikov. Many people would call it the Vepr, which is a really cool word to say, Vepr. But it's very much, it was a discontinued rifle. There is another bullpup Kalashnikov, on the other hand. I just remember it. Many people know it as the Orza. The Orza, which was forgotten in history within a year, like a couple of years as it was created, was a bullpup Kalashnikov FAMAS, basically. It had the carry handle of a FAMAS with the scope on it. except very smaller, tinier, didn't look weird. Voila. It's a very small rifle. Yes, it's a rifle head. Assault rifle, a 7.62, I believe. Yes, 7.62, because if you look at the magazine, it has the stamped design. Therefore, 7.62. Might be wrong on that, but the Orza, I've actually just recently got a liking to it. Many people know this gun from Stalker. Stalker, Call of Chernobyl, Call of Pripyat, and Clear Sky all make a great service to the Orza. Not accurately, but still. They had it in the game, so it makes me happy. However, I'm not going to really talk about the Orza much after that, because it's just a really simple design. Otherwise, a 20-minute video, yes, I know, and there was some repeating, but hey, that's me. If you have any questions, or if there's any Kalashnikov rifles I missed, and you want me to talk about it, I gladly will. And the thing was, I will eat English. It'll be more easier for me to talk about guns if I were to make a video about individual weapons. So if I missed a Kalashnikov and you want me to talk about a certain Kalashnikov, just comment and I'll make a whole video on it. Now, do not comment, do AKM, do the three types of the AK-47, the AK-74U, the AK-74 and AK-74M, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109. And don't ask me to do the AK-12s, don't ask me to do the AK-12 400, don't ask me to do the PP series, and yeah. However, I will gladly do Kalashnikov variants from other countries, meaning Chinese, Bulgarian, Serbian. I will actually gladly do a whole video on the Yugoslavian Serbian Kalashnikovs, also known as the M series. So like the M72, M70, I will gladly do videos. So if you wanted me to do that, comment below. I will gladly be with you. And remember, stay cheeky breaky. Belarus is true Rus. Sarkilla out, brothers.